Game of the day. Poland versus LaskaLarnar. Eagle versus Eagle.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, folks, we are on Versi. This is a base light matchup with airport and comm tower support. We have Poland versus LaskaLarnar today as our players. So both of these players are very highly rated players. Poland currently actually has the #1 position when it comes to the standard live league ladder. Now, Versi, when we take a look at this map, it is a pretty straightforward map, folks. Now, the base light matchup with the airport really favors Eagle quite a bit, folks, because Eagle is able to build a lot of vehicles out of those bases, plus air units. And there aren't going to be as many infantry on the field, which is going to be very effective for Eagle overall. But we have an Eagle Mirror here today, folks. And the Eagle Mirror is one of the most catastrophically devastating matchups you can have in Advance Wars by Web. Now, generally just looking at this map, folks, we have a mountain region right here and we have a mountain region right here. So the vehicle reinforcement range is going to suffer quite a bit here. But it does look like we have a route right here to immediately start targeting the center, and vice versa over here. We can immediately start targeting this area here. But the way that this works out is vehicles are going to hit these two areas first, and then there's going to be massive fighting in the center. This map is going to be intense brawling throughout the entire game. That's my prediction, folks. There's definitely some potential to go over here and capture the corners over here as well. You cannot shy on that, folks. You can't necessarily just dedicate it to one base. You are going to need to put multiple units over here from both bases. So it's going to come out to be a very dynamic battle indeed. So a lot of people were watching this game in the Discord, and I was one of them for at least a short while, and it was a good one. So we're going to feature it today, folks, and it's going to be a wild time. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field. #1 priority in Advance Wars by Web, folks. The #2 priority in Advance Wars by Web is making sure that you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action. Both players are now going for some neutral properties. We have movement going over the mountain here. Poland now acquiring a few more properties here, going towards the middle, going on the side. Nothing really out of the ordinary at this point, folks. The capture chains don't really allow for any severe dynamic play. It is very standard. You just go for the close properties first, expand your troops, and have yourself a jolly time. Ooh. Forgive me, folks. I had a massive sneezing fit right before recording this, so. Oh boy. Alrighty, folks. Let's continue on here. It does look like Poland has 5k in the bank, so just gonna buy some more infantry. Laska now pushing an infantry towards the middle of the map and busting out the first tank of the game. First tank of the game, folks. We got it. Second tank of the game over here from Poland. Now, this is a very interesting strategy here, folks. We got an infantry right here right away, so Poland is inviting the brawl. He's inviting the brawl, and he's got no backup for this infantry right here. However, attacking into a situation here where it is 1-star terrain versus 3-star terrain is not very good overall, folks. It's going to end up being somewhat of an even trade. Best case scenario, you're probably going to be having a 6-7 trade. If you get really lucky, it might be a 6-4, but 6-7 is what it's probably going to be. So if Laska decides to go in and do that attack, that's what it's going to be. Probably, in all reality, it might be better just going for the income, but if he goes for the income, I can bet Poland is going to go for the interrupt. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, goes for the capture. So if he does go for the interrupt here, it's going to be backed up with a tank, and this tank is over here now to interrupt the captures over here. So let's see what ends up happening right there, folks. Is Poland going to be the kind of guy to go up and interrupt the property? Which he's doing up north right now. But is he the kind of guy that's going to go and interrupt the property from 0-star terrain? Which is obviously going to be the worst case scenario. No, he's not. He's going to go for that income, folks. Alrighty. Brings a tank over here. Brings this tank purchased over here on this side of the map. That actually allows for a clean interrupt over here on this property. So I don't know, I don't know about that. I don't know. We got a mech, folks. We got the macho mech Randy Savage over here. Let's see what he decides to do. Oh, we're gonna go for this interrupt over here instead of the interrupt in the middle. Very curious indeed. Now, if Laska does go for the interrupt in the middle, there is a possibility that he's going to get surrounded by 2 tanks, so might be a little bit better for him to play the safe game, go in the corner here, folks. That is definitely a possibility, but it does look like Laska is now going towards the bottom of the map, attempting to capture a comm tower. We got an interrupt over here from a tank, and an oh, that was an income denial interrupt right there from Poland. This is textbook Poland, folks. Textbook Poland. That's actually textbook Jatawin is what it is. This is something that fellow always does all the time, folks. That he's a wild child. Alright, folks. Pretty good map state over here from Poland. Definitely lacking in units, but has a very good position overall. Let's see what Laska decides to do here. Just going to continue the capture on the comm tower. Continue the capture on this property. This is kind of best case scenario right here. However, tank can go over here and interrupt the comm tower, and then 8 HP infantry can go and interrupt this property. So, like, all in all, there's definitely negatives, but there is also positives to this situation. Let's see what Poland decides to do here. Alright, going for the captures. Yeah, he's going to go for that attack right there as predicted here. That is a pretty standard attack. I would say that, not much out of the ordinary for that one there, folks. I mean, it's the safest bet right there. And you interrupt the property capture here, so pretty good. Oh! Poland's got a mech too. Got double mechs on this map, folks. We got 2 mechs ready and willing to cause some violence. There we go. Now, mechs aren't going to be super effective for Eagle. It does not get any benefits from them when it comes to the Lightning Strike Super Co-Power, but they are still mechs. They're meching around, just getting stuff done. Alright, got a attack on an infantry right now. This is, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? He might go up and just attack this tank. It's totally possible. He could just go up here and attack it, even if it's a net negative trade, and still does the damage here. But we'll see, because we have an attack on the mech right here, folks. That is a Doom tank, though, unfortunately. 125%. There's going to be an attack. There could be an attack. There could be an attack, but there could not. Laska decided to go for the artillery, which is going to be kind of curious. I mean, artillery are very good. And you can't skimp on the artillery in Live League, folks. They're definitely excellent units to be using, but in a game where you have so many tanks up in the front line and not really too many blockers, it might be very difficult to use an artillery here. Plus, it is very slow reinforcement at this moment. Laska is making a play, folks. He's going in. He is going in hard. He is attacking a tank. Sacrifice the mech to do maximum damage to the tank. Oh My golly gosh. Here we go, folks. Interrupts the capture and then attacks the tank. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. LaskaLarnar. He's doing it, folks. He's going for it. He's buying the battlecopter. First battlecopter of the game. Let's go. Oh, now Poland sacrifices the tank. Ooh, not a full sacrifice, but massive damage. Ooh. And he gets it. He gets it. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Beautiful combination attack over here. Now, that does severely injure these two tanks, but overall, Poland's got the tank advantage down south. But the Western Front. The Western Front is what's looking a little bit more rough for him at the moment. But a battlecopter, tank, infantry have joined the fray here. They are going to be able to go up north and assist with that attack here. This tank is definitely doomed, but this battlecopter needs to get down here and start zoning out this battlecopter as quickly as possible, or it could just go over here and join in the fight. But currently, folks, we are at 14-14 income. There is nothing out of the ordinary there. It is a dead even game. More interrupts are happening here. More attacks. Goes for a luck roll, doesn't get it because it probably was just never destined to work out in general, but that's okay. We got attacks here, folks. Nice placement of the artillery. Very front runner artillery over here. Could potentially be attacked by the tank, but it's not going to work out. Not going to work out for him if he goes and attacks that. Now, it possibly could work out, but I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see. If he goes in and attacks the 8 HP tank with this tank, Poland versus Laska is what I'm talking about here. Can go in, attack it, but he's going to get blasted by an artillery. But then he's going to lose all the tanks in the front line. So, choices are going to have to be made here, folks. Oh, battlecopter going to the eastern front, and then we got a 2-hit combination over here. So, one of these tanks are definitely going to explode here. Whether they're going to explode in glorious fashion or just minor fashion is completely up to Poland at this moment. Or completely up to Laska. At this moment, he's in the driver's seat here. Is he going to be able to do whatever he chooses to do? He could actually potentially just run away as well. Now, do you want to run away? No, you don't want to run away, folks. You want to brawl it out. You want to battle it out. You want to start smashing your opponent. You want to be just bashing them with your wrench constantly, doing that damage. That's what it's all about. Non-stop wrench batching. Alright, anti-air has joined the battle over here from Laska as well. Unfortunately, it's built on the top side of the map, and it looks like all the battlecopters are going to the bottom of the map at the moment, so... But, another anti-air over here, so now there's no place that Poland's battlecopters can go that Laska will not be with anti-air presence. Alright, that poor, unfortunate artillery has definitely suffered a massive attack. 80% damage to that, man. Oh my god. And Poland just keeps pumping out the mechs, folks. He's got flipping 3 mechs on the field. This is definitely the mechaning. The mechaning reckoning is here, folks. Oh, very interesting. We got a battlecopter attack on a tank. That's probably going to be a combo attack right here. Yeah, take that tank out of the game. That's what I'm talking about here. Anti-air reaches the front line. We got a very curious looking smile right here. Little lopsided eyes right here, but that is perfectly fine. Nothing has to be perfect in Advanced Wars. You just gotta win. That's all it's about, folks. Just gotta win. Alright, double attack over here. Might potentially be a pretty good idea to actually bring in this tank over here and attack as well. 56,750 damage calculated right now. I don't think there's any possibility of a lightning strike next turn, so I think that attack is pretty safe. Doing massive damage to the infantry, but this guy can still be interrupted. This guy can still be interrupted. There's one infantry. He's got to make a choice over here if he chooses to interrupt or if he runs away like a coward to fight another day. That is up to Poland, folks. He's going to find out. He's going to plan something. He is going to do it. Now, both players on day 13 as Eagles still have over 13 minutes on the clock. Poland having 16 minutes and 52 seconds, which is tons and tons of time to work with. But what is he going to do with it? What is he going to do with that kind of time, folks? That's a lot of time to be planning a lightning strike. Sacrifices the infantry. attacks the anti-air. Oh, is he going for a lightning strike? Is it possible to get a lightning? Oh, he's like, oh, very interesting. Ooh, he's going for it. He's going for it. He just needs like 9,000. No, he needs 55, 60, 6450. That's a battlecopter attack. Oh, he's pretty close. He's pretty close. Oh, wait, was that Laska? No. Poland. He's pretty close. He's still kind of far away, though. I think if he sacrifices some infantry. Yeah, if he sacrifices infantry, if he does like, wait, how many infantry attacks? He would need 3 infantry attacks. Needs 3 infantry attacks in order to actually get this super co-power, I'm pretty sure. No, more. Let's just see what he does. Let's not worry about it. I don't want to do the calculations. But usually an infantry into like a tank engagement is somewhere like net around 600 to 700, depending on how much damage you do. All right, let's see. He's dabbling. Oh, folks. Oh, folks. Folks. Got ourselves a problem. Laska's got himself a problem. He's got himself a massive problem. And it's not going to work out well for him. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a very unexpected turn of events. But Poland has managed to get lightning strike on his turn. Nearing the end of the turn. Did have to sacrifice quite a few units in order to do so. Sitting at 13 units. But first, lightning strike in an eagle mirror is absolutely flipping devastating. Let's see what he manages to do with this boat, because this is going to be one of the fattest lightning strikes of 2025. Actually, it's not, but it's going to be one of Poland's lightning strikes of 2025. Let's see what he does. All right, manages to get a clear, attacks the anti-air is what I meant to say. Attacks the anti-air, because there ain't going to be no air. Oh, so, okay, so, you know what? This isn't actually that bad. This isn't that bad. Okay, hold on. All right. Did Poland run out of time? No, he's got 5 minutes. Okay. So, Laska. He's got some potential. There is definitely potential here. It's not going to be, like, super massive potential, but there is some potential. Now, it really just depends on what he decides to build, but the fact that there's still an artillery right here is pretty big. If he can find a way to clear this infantry, artillery can definitely push forward, get an attack over here. I don't think there's any real way to clear this tank, but there's definitely potential to clear this area here. Might be able to get an attack over here. Has an attack right here with the anti-air, which can be pretty good, but if he builds a fresh battlecopter, he gets a lightning strike battlecopter attack onto a battlecopter, but I don't think that's really going to be like an extremely large amount of damage. Mainly just because, like, you know, Eagle gets additional defense. Yeah, that's only going to be like 59 to 65% damage, but it's still damage, folks. It is still damage. Let's see. Let's not ponder any longer. Let's go ahead and see what he does. Also, Poland used like flipping like 10 minutes on that last turn, which is just like absolutely wild. It's like, do you really need 10 minutes to take your turn? Do you, Poland? You need 10 minutes? You need 10 minutes to do your turn? I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But while the rest of us are waiting to see what's happening, Poland's just over there taking his time, doing whatever he wants to do. But you know what? He's allowed to do that, and that is his right. Okay, doesn't go with the battlecopter purchase, which is very interesting, but he does have an anti-air purchase. But that's going to allow this battlecopter to just run amok here. I don't know, you know, I don't know. I kind of would almost like to just see a battlecopter and then an attack, but I don't know, you know, then there's double battlecopter attack over here. So maybe this is the better of the two ideas. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Probably is, though. Alright. Oh, doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. Oh my god. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Alaska right now. He does not manage to get to clear, like massive damage over here, but unfortunately the guy was just unable to do so. Unable to get it done. Needs to build an infantry right here though, otherwise this guy's gonna go and just like plop right on the space. But the other thing that's super dangerous at the moment also is this battlecopter can go over here and plop right on the flippin' airport. And if he plops right on the airport, that is an airport lock. That is an airport block. There's going to be no more air units. No more air units. And then Poland will be able to bust out a battlecopter and then like some various vehicle units the entire game. Laska's not going to be able to do anything about that because he's forced to fight on the front lines here. That would be an absolutely devastating attack. I don't know if he's going to go for it, but holy macaroni and flipping cheese. I would definitely consider going for it. It would be a wild, wild move. Alright. Let's see. Let's see what Poland does now. Well, he's going to get the 2-shot. Doesn't get the clear because of that additional defense, but does get some pretty good damage here. Going for a capture now. That HQ is flipping exposed now, folks. It is one of the most exposed HQs in Advanced Wars by Web right now. 2 days is all it's going to take for Poland to just march an infantry over there and just start capturing. But Poland doesn't go for the block. He doesn't go for the airport lock, which is kind of wild. Kind of weird, you know? He definitely could have went for it, but he goes for the safe income, I guess. The safe income block. Which, like, overall is fine, I suppose. It is fine. It's overall, you know, it's not too bad. Got the old smackaroni over here, and now this front is completely won right now by Alaska. There is almost nothing to contend with over here, but there is something that is going on over here. It would appear like Alaska is now capturing one of Poland's properties. And there's only one thing that can really deal with that right now. Well, I mean, there is actually 3 things that can deal with it right now. And it would be any one of these 3 vehicles. Because all you really have to do is you have to move here, block it out, and then you can move over here and interrupt, or you can attack with this and interrupt. But no matter what you do in this situation, you're going to be losing units. And that's just the simple truth here. So let's see. Let's see what Poland wants to do in this kind of situation, folks. I'm going to get the mouse out of the way here. It is day 15. Poland is ahead by 1 property. But all comm towers have been acquired. So now we got big damage coming here. Alright, interrupts with the battlecopter. Probably going to attack anti-air now. Yeah, so it does 5 damage, so it's not bad. It's not like super great, but it's not bad. Laska's still going to be able to get some pretty effective hits with that anti-area. Takes it down to 4. Not too bad at all. Busts out the battlecopter because that guy is definitely needed at the moment. Alaska going for another property. Blocks in the tank with the recon. This is what I'm talking about. This rocket right here. While this is a pretty good rocket, he's not going to be able to lock down this property now. He could potentially lock down this property by moving right here on the shoal. But he's not going to be able to lock down this property now. That property is going to be captured. And Alaska really needs that property. He really absolutely needs that property, like, right now. Because he is definitely behind in income. 14,000 to 17,000. It's not really the kind of place you want to be, folks. Especially against Poland. Alright. Both anti-airs are gone. And with very minimal units to actually move. Like, these turns are going by quick. Like, no wonder these players have so much time right now. True. That is another property. That is another property that flippin' Alaska manages to get here. But is this in range of this? It is. It is in range. So this property cannot be acquired. Cannot, unfortunately. Another infantry attack down over on the eastern front. It's not too shabby. Another battlecopter on the field. And a little mini front shift here, you know, just putting a few units into the center of the map here. I'm going to be trying to acquire one of these two properties by the looks of it here. There is like a minimal chance that this infantry can clear this tank. Very minimal, but there is definitely a possibility. Not very high odds, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, just moves right there. Another battlecopter. Okay, so Poland behind in units, but has just great map control right now. But Laska, you know, he's one of the best out there, folks. We're going to see what he decides to do here. He's got 10 minutes to plan out an attack, and he has gained the income lead. A mechanized infantry has just struck a battlecopter in the sky. What a mad lad of a man right there. Crazy move for a crazy man. Sacrifices the battlecopter to take out a tank. Very curious indeed, but that does allow him to begin a capture on a property right here in the center. It's interruptible by a battlecopter though, and we lose a battlecopter right here. Oh, I don't know, folks. We have mechs on the field though. We got many mechs on the field. Does a full retreat over here. Let's see what happens. Oh, and it looks like Poland is going to be reacquiring that property. Loss of the battlecopter. Interrupt. Yeah, why would you not interrupt, folks? Because that is pretty good. I mean, there's no reason not to interrupt, to be completely honest. Alright. Day 18. Laska needs to make something happen here. Gets an attack on the anti-air. Very nice attack on the anti-air. Battlecopter's moving over to the west now. Interesting. Very interesting. Can't interrupt the property, but is going to full surround the artillery over on the western front, leaving it so it's a very well defended area here. Oh, that's a big strike on a battlecopter. Poland just finding like the one spot though. One spot that the battlecopter can get a free hit from. Very nice indeed. It is day 19, folks. My button does not allow me to move the next turn. So LaskaLarnar, day 19. Mechs on the field. It doesn't let me do anything, folks. Doesn't let me do anything. This is a common thing that happens sometimes when you're using the replayer. But essentially what happened this turn is Laska resigned. He resigned to Poland. Poland is about to get another lightning strike. He will get the lightning strike before Laska, because Laska just does not have the value on the field in order to acquire a lightning strike. This game, unfortunately, is lost. It is lost. But it is won by Poland. What a fantastic game between these two players. Definitely shows a lot of high-level thought, a lot of high-level play. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.